Cheers. I sit down very carefully so I don't foam over like I did the last one. We appear to be okay. All right, so doing something a little different today. You probably noticed it looks differently. One, I'm shooting with my Sony and 22mm lens, so it's a little bit wider than the one G4, which is or GH5, sorry. Which is why I do a little more background here. I'm also using my little custom-made light that I made about a month ago. So it's a big-ass dish ring light kind of thing behind the camera. Kind of want to try this out again just to see if I can get a better deal. Also, what I'm using here is a little app on my phone, which I don't know if it shows it, if you see this thing at all. But it's the Sony Play Memories app, and I'm using it to remote control the phone. I mean, remote control the camera. The main reason is with the Sony is I can't see what the camera sees. I have no idea if I'm in focus, if I'm in frame. At least with this thing, I look down here and go, oh, it's about where I want it to be. I don't have the histogram though, so I don't really know how the exposure is on this. I mean, it looks good on the phone, but I'm shooting S-Log, so that never works for me. Also, if you guys remember from previous attempts of me using this thing, I had that weird rolling bar thing going on, which seemed to be fine if I shot at a 40th a second, but not a 50th a second. Right now, I'm shooting at 50th a second. I don't see that on the Sony. I don't see that rolling bar issue. I'm looking at the screen. I did a little test clip, played back, didn't see it. So if there's that little rolling thing going on, I'm sorry. I won't do that again. But I want to try it out today, see how it looks. It might be a function of whatever LEDs I'm using. Right now, I'm completely in tungsten setting, so maybe I'll do a test one day. I'll try tungsten. I'll try the daylight. Maybe it's just the daylight bulbs do flicker, because looking at my phone, it looks fine. And when I did a little test clip on the back of the Sony, it looked good. But the refresh rate on the GH5 might be higher in the display than the Sony, so that might be why I see it on one versus the other. I don't know. Anyways, wasted about a minute and a half talking about that. Finishing off my weird beer from Trader Joe's. Still don't know if I like it, but it's not bad. It's very unusual, and it's typical with Trader Joe's beers. They always want to foam over, so to be very, very careful. Appears to be okay. All right, so end of the day. What did I do today? I worked. All fun stuff. Down the last couple days before I head off to actually Seattle of all place to start the G3 tour. Got my flight, know when I'm flying in. Don't know what hotel I'm at yet, but I haven't asked. I'm sure it's somewhere downtown because we're playing the Moore, so hopefully it's somewhere in that vicinity. Not really sure if I want to bug my friends that I'm going to be in town that day or not, because I was just there, and I kind of want to make sure I'm on top of my game for day one. This is as I've said a couple times before this, I'm kind of, along with Guitar Tech, sort of de facto tour managing this thing for Phil while out there. I should say road managing it. I'm not tour managing, road managing it. And it's something I've never done before, so yeah, kind of a little nervous that first couple shows to get through without screwing up. So I need to make sure I'm on my A game for at least the first week, and I can settle in. I'm sure it's gonna be easy. I talked to a couple people today who know the camp that we're working with, and everybody says that Saturn's guys are fantastic. The tour manager is great, production manager is great. I've only talked to the production manager so far, and he's awesome, very, very helpful. But this is also the first time I've ever done a tour as opening act. I've literally never had tours as opening act. I looked out. I started off with a relatively big band, so I've never done like the smaller tours. So it's kind of a little weird going, from there to there. Not that there's anything wrong with being an opening act. It's just the different mindset of one, it's get the hell of the way really quickly. Don't be a pest, and try to do as little as possible to aggravate production. At least that's my goal. I just want to make sure that when this tour is all done, the guys on the Saturday tour were happy with what I did, and I didn't make any messes for them, make their jobs any harder, and also that, of course, obviously Phil is happy, and Craig and Debbie and Forrest. Really excited to work with Forrest too. For those of you guys who don't know, Forrest is Phil's drummer in Delta Deep. I think he played with Sade, I believe. I think it was kind of this. He's played with an insanely wide variety of acts, and he's kind of like this really easygoing dreadlock black dude who I guess can just shred and play like crazy metal. I'm super excited to hear him play every night. Also, just go back to acoustic drums because it's been years since I've done acoustics. So, like, I hope I don't suck at tuning. It's a perishable skill for those of you guys who don't know. Like, tuning drums is most definitely a perishable skill. So it'll be a challenge. Not to say I'm not challenged with Leopard because that's actually quite a challenging gig, and the fact that Rick and I keep jumping technology and trying to push ourselves keeps it challenging. But it's just nice to change that a little bit, especially with the. Well, Rick let a little bit of the cat out of the bag a couple weeks ago on this year's tour, so you guys kind of know what's going on. He mentioned a number of dates. I hope this guy's announced something soon because it's just really annoying. I hate being cagey on shit. I hate to dance around what we're doing. But I'm just not authorized to get out any information. But you guys probably know that it's going to be a good, solid year at work. So, yeah, it's just nice to have a little change up at the start of the year, and also to pay off my credit cards and finish paying for my mom's car that I bought. Yeah, I spent way too much. I spent a lot of money this fall. A lot of money. Not regretting it though, because so you do. That's what money's there for. It's money's there to be spent. But I do need to pay off some debt so because I want to buy a house. Kind of a little side note here about the house thing. So, as anybody who's watched, well, enough these or know me personally, that I've been kind of talking about moving out of California for a while. Really since like probably last year, kind of had the back of my head, and I've been looking at the East Coast. A couple people keep mentioning Midwest and Texas and places like it's just not for me. Like I like visiting those places, but I don't like living far from the water. And I'm sorry, lakes and rivers do not count. I lived off those. I'm an ocean boy. Like I grew up on an island in Washington State. This right now I'm 20 miles from the ocean. That's probably the farthest I've ever lived in the ocean for more than a couple months. And that's about as far as I want to live in the ocean, really. But I've been looking at the East Coast, mainly because everybody seems expensive there, but like really compared to the West Coast, the East Coast is cheap. And I'm talking about if you eliminate like the little tiny coastal towns. But city-wise, actually, it's shockingly affordable to live on East Coast versus West Coast. If you eliminate probably Boston and New York. I think Boston and New York are Manhattan's is basically right there with San Francisco for its stupidity on pricing, and Boston's probably right there with like LA or Seattle, of just you gotta want it. But a lot of the places are actually really, really affordable, which you guys all know that's because I've said before. But anyways, very long roundabout story here. I'm signed up with like multiple real estate apps and services just to kind of see what there is and just sort of keep my my eyes open and stuff. And it's just because I'm looking around. I just want to know so what you do when you think about moving somewhere, you want to just kind of see what the area looks like, what the overall prices, what kind of houses are available. And so I watched multiple states. And really, for the most part, I get like X amount of houses will pop up my email every day. And it's not a lot, but you get like, oh, here's some new listings. This week, because the cold snap out east, it's really cold out east. We're talking like 3 degrees in New York. I got some headline today, like there's parts of New York or parts of the East Coast that are colder than Mars. That's cold. Because of that cold snap, I'm guessing, I've been seeing a massive uptick in listings in a lot of East Coast towns. I think a lot of people are doing like kind of what brought me to California actually, which is they get coming home going, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. Which is actually how I ended up down here versus Seattle, because a lot of different story. I'm sure I told the story before, but it's been quite interesting. And sorry, text the boss. I'll have to get back to him in a second. yeah, so bring back in the thoughts. Rick. Yeah, so, you know, I've just noticed that there's been a lot more uptick of houses and some really cool places. And it seems to be people are offering them for cheap, like they want to get the hell out now. Unfortunately, it's not the spot to buy a house right now, but it's quite interesting. I don't know if anybody lives out east, if you've had that thought, maybe you can chime in. If you've got home one evening and went, screw this, I want to leave, or if it's just maybe just a random January uptick of real estate. I never thought of January being a good time to buy or sell houses, but I don't know, if you guys are real estate, you can probably tell me what you think about that one. I just thought it was interesting. But that's kind of my day there. So I think there's a bunch of weird noises outside tonight. Almost sound like fireworks from a neighbor's house or somebody dropping piles of lumber. I couldn't quite tell. Animals outside. It's kind of a little bit of, it feels like a new moon thing or something going on. I don't know. Anyways, but I'm gonna go color grade this thing. Well, hopefully there's no, you know, moving bars, and hopefully the overall color looks, but it looks better on my phone. Like the screen looks pretty good. We'll see how good I am with S-Log2, because I have never gotten S-Log2 to look good. I'm gonna keep trying though. I'm gonna make it happen at some point. But so far I've yet to have a positive, you know, aha moment with log on a Sony. We'll see. And with that, thank you all for stopping by today. If you have any thoughts on the real estate market, put it down below. And weather. I shall see you probably tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. John Zacco, who is Phil's tech for the year, is coming in tomorrow to do a little bit of work and be a rehearsal for Phil's side project, which is kind of half Filter Deep, half not. I don't know. Calling it Phil Collin Band for the sake of continuity and touring. We have a rehearsal come up day after tomorrow. It's our lone full production rehearsal before we fly off to Seattle. So he's going to come in and do that. So I might not be filming tomorrow night. Maybe not. If not, she'll see you guys probably Friday. But I'll try to film tomorrow. Yeah. Anyways, with that, thank you for stopping by. Catch you later. Yada, yada, yada. Have a fantastic day. See ya.